cleansing somebody's house of bad spirits.
Correct.
Honestly, every once in a while, just kind of weird things happen.
That you couldn't explain.
Yeah, it sounds cuckoo.
I have what's called intuition.
Well, I have intuition too. She says I'm witchy, that you were paid by credit card, his credit card, and subsequently he had that credit card reversed because either he was dissatisfied with the service or he was going to tell me why he had it reversed. And the bank eventually, after some back and forth, did take the money out of your account.
Correct.
And that's what you're suing him for.
Yes.
But the service that you provided is a unique service. As it happens, it's not a service that I haven't heard of. I don't necessarily understand it all, or even if I understood it, I'm a meat and potatoes girl. And I don't get cleansing somebody's house of bad spirits. Now, I'm sure that there are people who do believe in that because I actually have a couple in my family who actually did that once. But I don't know what particular skill or training one has, but that's what you do.
Yes.
As sort of a side job, because you have another job.
Yes.
And what's your other job?
So I'm the owner of a metaphysical and organic shop that is based in Jacksonville, Florida.
From that shop, you sell teas.
Yes.
How long have you had that shop?
I've had the shop 2 years,
Okay.
but I've been mobile. I went from my house to other people's house. I did in-home visits before now.
But the shop where you met him, correct?
Yes.
Sells teas, what else?
Teas, tonics, tinctures, other healing, spiritual healing services, such as like a Reiki where there's crystals placed on your body and you're able to
Just a
balance
second.
yourself.
You sell them or you perform that service in the shop?
That one is a service that's performed.
In the shop?
Correct.
So you put crystals on your body?
I place 7 crystals down the front and center of each individual's body.
And you
I
do that
perform
while
it
they're lying on some sort of a...
on a massage table and my hands hover over them. So that's the Reiki.
What else?
I do ayahuasca.
What is that?
Ayahuasca is a plant medicine that is used to cure depression and other mental episodes within individuals.
Okay, and where do you get this plant medicine?
Comes from different places.
Where do you get it?
So I buy it from the tribe that's in Amazon.
How do you get it delivered?
I email them, it comes, it clears customs. Since it is a shamanic practice, it is deemed a medicinal item.
It's not entirely legal.
It's not illegal.
It's not entirely legal. There's a loophole for shaman practices that can get it directly from...
How do you know about that?
I know some things. I know some things.
Okay.
Yes.
Never know. It's something new. Where did you learn all about this?
So my grandma did some services and it's been within my family, but I also have 7 years of schooling. I have a Master's of Science in Health and Wellness.
From where?
State of Oregon. The college is American College of Healthcare Sciences.
So your grandmother did this?
Yes.
And your mom?
My mom doesn't do it. It's my father's mother.
Interesting. So did you learn from her?
Some things, and some things I've learned as I go. I have what's called intuition, so I've been able to be guided.
Well, I have intuition too. She says I'm witchy. It's really just a combination of common sense. Sometimes it's a little witchy if you call and you're thinking about the person and the phone rings. Well, I have to tell you, Miss Bragg, sometimes you're really surprised. I'm surprised by the background that you've just described that suggests to me that you actually believe that this is a skill set that was passed down to you. You've had some training with regard to it. It doesn't sound like you're going hocus pocus, mini-ocus. You know, it sounds as if there's some skill behind it. And, you know, just as with prophylactic medicines, sugar pills, people believe it and it makes them better. So sometimes it works and sometimes it's in the mind of the patient. Anyway, I'm going to come over to you for a second, Mr. Deal. You started to go to Miss Bragg's shop.
Yes, ma'am.
And what were you buying there?
First, it was like teas. Then it was like a cough-type medicine for when your chest hurts. Then, like, I got sick, congestions and all that, so she made me a tea blend. I tried that, and then I kept getting different types of drinks, like juice-type drinks. They taste good.
Tastes good, and it was effective. It was one of those things that you said, I think this makes me feel better.
Nah, I thought they taste good.
What about the teas when you had a cough?
I tried it, didn't try it again.
Didn't.
No, I still have them in my residence.
Okay, but you kept going back to her shop. How did this subject of cleansing your house come up?
Just different stuff going on there.
Yeah, but what made you think that your house should have a cleansing?
She's very convincing.
No, but you
So,
seem
I
like
mean-
a smart guy. There had to be something in the air in your house. Did somebody die there?
So actually, yes. Before I got
That's-
there, someone had passed.
That's what usually triggers it. And what is it that suggests to you that some of that spirit still remained? Come
I
on.
mean, honestly, every once in a while, just kind of weird things happen. But it wasn't
what?
anything.
Like what?
Noises that you wouldn't.
That you couldn't explain.
Right.
Things
You
that
think
you
like
couldn't
if there's
explain.
an owl, and then I go outside look for an owl. There's no owl, and it's just yeah, it sounds cuckoo. So I would hear stuff sometimes. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so there was a reason to have this conversation with her about cleansing.
Correct.
Okay, do you remember when that conversation took place?
Early March.
Did she ever come to your house?
No, she never did.
How did she get your credit card?
Oh, because I provided it when I was there. I had her shop.
Okay, so you had this discussion about coming to the house and cleansing it, and she did give you a price, and you did give her your credit card.
Correct.
And what was the price?
$806.
And did you make an appointment for her?
I did originally.
What date was she supposed to come?
It's like 2 to 4 days later.
Okay, and why didn't she come?
Because I kind of came to my senses and kind of didn't think I needed it. Didn't make sense. And then I went back to the tea scenario. And I'm like, that stuff didn't work. So why would I pay for something that when this stuff didn't work?
Okay, so she was supposed to come to your house how many days after he signed the credit card?
2 days. And it was an invoice. I have a copy.
May I
I sent
see
an
it?
invoice and he hand keys his card in.
May-
He went back to work.
May I see the invoice? You have an invoice from her?
This is the
I don't.
invoice.
I just have actual.
And I also have the
transactions from the bank
transaction on my
account.
cell phone that shows he had to key his card in, and I have the time he
no.
was at work. I have the text message
Just a
conversation
second,
also.
just 1 second. So he gave you $806.
Correct.
How much did you get back, sir?
$295.62.
That's not correct. Initially, that's what I refunded him when he canceled his service. But the chargeback, he charged back $510.63. He originally tried to get the full amount, even though I had
That's
already refunded him his portion.
Okay, just a second. So he got back in total $295.62. Is that what you got back, sir?
No, she originally refunded me the $295.62. That's why
Okay.
I called my credit card company.
Okay.
And then they
so
refunded me the rest.
Only because after I did the cleansing for his guy friend, he told me that since the guy friend felt better and the house was fixed, he no longer needed his cleansing.
Hold on a second. What about this guy friend?
So he's the friend that introduced me to her.
Okay.
That was the one I was
friend,
telling you originally.
Just a second. A friend of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Where does he live?
He lives at his place.
Okay. He doesn't come to your place.
Yeah, he does every once in a while. Yes, ma'am.
So he comes to your place for what?
Just hang out with friends.
Okay. Does he ever stay there?
He has before. Yes, ma'am.
Does he do currently?
No, ma'am.
Stay there? And so he was a friend of yours. How did a friend of yours become involved with her?
He's the one that originally introduced me to her.
Oh, fine. So he introduced you to her.
Correct.
And what does your $806 have to do with your friend?
Because she's stating that I paid for his service and my service, which I didn't. I was under the impression I was paying for my
I have
service.
the text messages.
Shh, just a second. Well, what's removal and protection? What is that, madam?
That is, Andrew, the defendant was supposed to get a removal and protection, and his guy friend was supposed to get a removal and protection. That
Well,
was
that's
the
what I
initial.
thought. Because one says two, and
Yes.
one says one home cleaning, which was
The friend's house.
friend's house, not yours.
Correct.
Okay. Is there any reason why you paid for your friend?
No, ma'am. I was under the impression I was paying for mine. And then when
I
I
have the text
canceled
message.
mine,
May I see it, please? Okay, you actually went to his friend's house.
Correct.
Okay, and that was $275.
For the friend, it was $510.63 because the friend also got a person cleansing.
Well, that has nothing to do with him.
That's what's included in his charge.
The return policy, was this put on before or after the return policy?
It's always been there.
Okay, but this was there because you did, in fact, refund $295.
Correct, but I let him know I was making an exception. I also have the policy that's posted within the store.
You never went to his place?
No, I never went to the defendant's house.
Okay, and you did go to his friend's house?
Yes, I did a house cleansing and I did the protection and removal on the friend. So I did 2 services at his house.
And tell me why you believe that he had agreed to pay for his friends.
Because I have the text message history that shows that. He came into the office. When he presented on March the 18th, his friend came with a gun in a box, and the defendant showed up with visible scratches and a bloodshot eye. I thought to treat what I physically saw, but then the client explained what was going on. This is how the house cleansing came about. It's because the client was having a mental episode and was telling me that they were in bed the night before and he saw spirits on the defendant.
Who told you that? He did or
The
his friend?
client. This is how the cleansing was initially set up. They both showed up to the office and the client had a gun in a box. And I began to try to talk him out of the situation. And the client said, you know, I was going to kill him last night. We were in bed and I saw spirits on him. This is why I went to clean the client's house first, was because he was the one who was having the most obvious things going on mentally.
Okay. What else?
So I booked the appointment for that, and I'm asking to do the consult, which it says on the website. None of these services can be booked without a consult. I must talk face-to-face with you, and you must okay it. So the defendant had to go back to work. He went to work. I proceeded to have the consult with the client, and we set up the appointment for me to come out and cleanse. So as I'm cleansing the house, and I do the protection and everything,
Yeah,
when I'm
but you
done,
haven't been paid yet by anybody.
he paid the invoice later on that day. The text message history shows me showing him a preview of the invoice and asking him.
He paid it after his friend's premises and person were cleansed.
Before. I had to do a consult. So during the consult, I sent the defendant the preview of the invoice asking, is this okay? Is this what you want?
Yeah, and he replied, I won't be available. I'm working, but he will be ready for you.
Yes.
For his place, and all I can come to you one this afternoon or so for my thing, then the apartment you can do mine, or he might be able to take you to my place after you're done with his.
Correct.
So it's clear from that, sir, that this was something that you and your friend together were doing.
No, so what she just stated before, I knew nothing of that.
Of what?
The incident or her and him talking about seeing what.
I don't know whether
goes.
she listen.
Right.
I don't know. Your friend brought you there because evidently there had been an episode.
He had me come there
Your friend brought you there
afterwards. Yes,
because
ma'am.
there had been an episode. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And clearly from that episode was the reason that she was going to your friend's house.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were present when the episode happened.
No, I was present when the episode happened.
When the episode with your friend that brought him to her happened with a gun in a box.
No, ma'am. I don't know anything about gun in the box. This is the first time I'm hearing from that on her saying that.
Were you with your friend when you initially went to see her that day about the cleansing? Were you with your friend?
I came that afternoon and met them, yes.
You were there with him?
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the same place. The three of you were
Yes,
there
ma'am.
together.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he have a box with him?
No, ma'am. I don't know any of that. That's what I'm saying. This is the first
I'm
I'm here.
just asking you whether he had a box with him.
No, ma'am. Not that I know of.
The box was inside of a black backpack. They both came in the door together. He had visible scratches and everything. And I asked him, was he going to go to work looking like that? Like, what happened? You're going to go present yourself like this at work? Because he works at a car dealership.
How'd you get the scratches on you?
Bickering, fighting, going back and forth.
With whom? With
him.
your friend?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Was the entire 806 returned to you?
Not initially. It was later on when she gave the initial for mine, and then the disputed one came back. Yes, ma'am. The 510.
All the charges were reversed.
Initially. So what happened was...
But then it was ultimately reversed.
Yes.
The entire 806.25.
Yes.
Okay, unpaid service, lost wages. What lost wages did you have?
My shop is family owned. I am the only owner. So when I'm not there, nobody can be there because I'm the master herbalist
I
and I
understand
take
that, but
care
you're
of
getting
everything.
paid for being out. You're getting your 806. There's no question in my mind that you've earned it and that he's not being 100% honest with me.
Yes. So
Okay.
inside of that is
Okay.
also punitive damages and emotional distress because this was a case of fraud. He initially charged back the whole $810 and he knew he had already been refunded 30 days prior. He waited a whole month from the date of this service and filed a chargeback. That was fraudulent
I
activity.
deny, Your Honor.
I have the original report
Just
that
a second,
shows the day
just-
he did it.
Listen to me. You're out 806.
Correct.
That's what you're getting from him because you're entitled to it.
And then what about my emotional distress? I've
What
never,
about
this
my-
is my
what about-
second year in business.
Well, you're in business, so I guarantee you, if you've been in business for 2 years, that you have a clientele, that you continue to serve your clientele. There's no indication that he has posted anything defamatory about you. It's not alleged in your complaint.
Correct, because I haven't went looking. But that
Well,
was enough.
that has
damaged my
nothing-
reputation. My company, my registered company, will no longer allow me to get hardware on credit because of this chargeback.
I don't know that. Do you have proof of that?
I can pull it up. I've only been in a brick and mortar shop for 2 years, so what he did damaged my reputation with the actual company. They won't give me any more credit because he filed a chargeback.
Well, in any event, this is what you're going to do with... Are you listening to me, Ms. Bragg?
Yes.
This is what you're going to do. You're going to take a copy of this judgment and send it to this particular credit card company and say that you've been to small claims court, you sued him, the judge found in your favor, returned the $806.25, establishing that he was wrong for getting his money back. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $806.25. We're finished here. Thank you.
Don't really know what to say. I feel like she was making up stuff as she went along.
I'm very happy with the judgment. She saw straight through the defendant's lies.
It just doesn't make sense. I came kind of to my senses and didn't want to deal with it.
Just moving forward in life, we all need to learn. When we pay for a service, the person needs to be paid. And if you're dissatisfied, you need to communicate that.
Honestly, I think the whole thing is just a whole bunch of made-up stuff people want to do and try to get money off it.
Lying gets us nowhere in the long run.
I forgot the name of it, but how did you know about
Ayahuasca.
that hocus pocus ayahuasca?
So I've never personally done it, but there was an athlete that came out not too long ago talking about his experience with doing it. And from what I gather, what I understand from it, it's sort of like a psychedelic tea that you drink that's supposed to, like the plaintiff said, aid in sort of depression and other mental health issues, and it can unlock areas of your mind. I'm not sure. You throw up a lot. Doesn't sound like a great experience. Not something I would sign up for personally, but for him, you know, he said he discovered a lot through the experience and it was very healing. So I think, you know, coming into this case, I think we both had a little bit of a slant as to who the plaintiff was going to be. Some, you know, like you said out there, a hocus pocus sort of snake oil salesman of sorts. But she was very educated and I was impressed.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I
think
was
you were
impressed
also with her credentials of not only schooling, but a familial sort of tradition of providing these
healing.
services. Yeah.
Of healing.
Of healing. And again, I think the defendant was not snookered in any way. He knew what he was signing up for. He obviously believed in it enough to pay for it at the time. He knew what he was getting. So I think the right thing happened. I think she got her money back. He shouldn't have reversed the charge. I think you have buyer's remorse with crystals just as much as you can with anything else. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can also get a shot for something and you don't feel well, but that doesn't reverse the medical charge.
You can't reverse the charge to the doctor. So, you know, he knew what he was getting. She never misrepresented what she was doing. You know what you're getting by looking at her and listening to her.
All right. This one was honestly one of the more unusual small claims cases, but the judge treated it like what it really is, a payment dispute. Let me start with what I agree with. I agree with the judge's bottom line. If you agree to pay for a service and you authorize the charge, you can't just do a chargeback because you changed your mind. That's not consumer protection. That's basically trying to undo a decision after the fact. And the defendant basically admitted buyer's remorse. He said it himself. He came to his senses. That's not fraud. That's regret. And I also agree with something else the judge implied. This wasn't some situation where he got tricked into thinking he was buying a dishwasher and then got sold magic beans. He was going to her shop, buying teas, tonics, talking about spiritual stuff, and then the conversation led to cleansing. So whether you believe in it or not, he knew the lane he was in. You don't walk into a metaphysical shop, discuss spiritual services, hand over your card, and then act shocked later that it wasn't a standard home repair service. Now, here's where I'm going to be a little more critical. I don't love how messy this got with the friend situation. Because once you start mixing in, this was for my friend's house and it includes protection, removal, a person cleansing. It becomes a confusing transaction. And in fairness, confusion is exactly where chargebacks happen. People feel like they paid for one thing and got billed for another, or they don't understand why the invoice includes multiple services. So, I do think the plaintiff, if you're running a business like this, needs to keep it simple and crystal clear, like separate invoices, separate names, separate services, and a clean paper trail. Not just because it helps in court, but because it prevents disputes in the first place. That said, even with the confusion, the judge clearly believed the plaintiff's timeline more than the defendant's. And the big issue was this. He got a partial refund, and then still pursued a chargeback for the rest. That's where it starts looking bad, because if you already got money back and you still try to claw back the entire transaction later, it comes off like you're not trying to fix a misunderstanding. You're trying to get out of paying altogether. Now let's talk about the belief part, because that's what the comments are going to explode over. Whether you think spiritual cleansing is real or not is almost irrelevant in small claims. People pay for all kinds of things that are hard to measure. Coaching, consulting, spiritual counseling, alternative wellness, even certain types of therapy support. The question is usually, did you agree? Did you pay? Was there a reasonable effort to provide the service? And if you cancel, what was the refund policy? That's it. The judge also made a smart, practical point. If chargebacks impacted her merchant account or credit terms, she should take the judgment and submit it to the processor. That's actually useful advice beyond this case. So, overall, I agree with the result. She earned the money she kept, and the defendant shouldn't have reversed the charge the way he did. But I'll also say this. Businesses that sell unusual or hard-to-define services have to be extra disciplined with documentation, invoices, and policies, because misunderstandings are guaranteed otherwise. And one last thing, this case is a reminder. If you're unhappy with a service, step 1 is communication. Refund request, clarify the invoice, cancel properly. Chargebacks should be a last resort for actual fraud or non-delivery, not a tool for buyer's remorse. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more real courtroom moments with honest commentary, support the channel. Hit like, subscribe, and share. It helps more than you think, and it keeps these reactions coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next case.